The best putters in the world visualize the ball falling into the cup, and the way they do that starts with positioning their eyes in the proper position in the putting setup. Today we're talking about where to position your eyes when you get ready to putt. I'm PGA teaching professional Todd Kolb, Director of Instruction for US Golf TV and the Sanford Power Golf Academy, and there is nothing more fun than holing some putts and rolling the rock and seeing that ball go into the cup on a regular basis. Now, in order to do that, putting is a lot of visualization. Seeing where the ball is going to start, seeing where it's going to enter the cup, and really connecting all those dots, visualizing what's happening, and so that you have the opportunity to pull it off and execute it. So that's what we want to talk about today. We're going to talk about where do I position my eyes from a front and back position, kind of left and right, and then also forward and back. So we're going to dive pretty deep into this. Now, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel. And be sure to leave a comment. I love hearing from you. Maybe you've got a tip on your putting. And be sure to ring the bell so you get some notifications on when our latest content is up. So let's dive right into this. Ball position. Where are my eyes relative to the ball when I get set up? So let's talk about, first of all, from the set on position right here. Where should I position the ball in terms of left or right? So I'm a right-handed golfer. Now, one of the things I like to do when I'm working on my setup with my ball position is I work a lot with my Reimer short game training aid right here, because it allows me to get the ball in the same spot every single time, and also, of course, my stance width. So I've got a position right off the G. Now, I like the ball to be positioned slightly forward of center in the putting stroke. And we've done some videos on putting and talked a little bit about that. You can check out those if you want more details about the position of the ball. Today we're talking about the eye position. So when you're set in there, if I've got this ball just ever so slightly forward of center, I want to see my lead eye, which for me is my left eye, just on the back side of the ball. So about right in here is where I want to see my lead eye positioned. Now, what I have found as an instructor is that everybody's a little bit different. Some people, they like their eyes maybe a little bit more right on top of it. I very, very seldom see people with their eyes in front of the ball. If anything, you want your eye to be slightly on the back side of it. Now, when we think of some of the greatest putters of all time, maybe the greatest golfer of all time, right? I'm not going to mention his name, but we know who we're talking about. When he got set in there, he kind of set back like this. So what I want you to do is start with positioning your lead eye on the back side of the ball and just hit some putts and visualize it and see how it looks and see how it feels to you, and find if that's something that works well for you. And if it doesn't, you can adjust it a little bit. Try maybe moving your head and tilting your head back just a little bit. And if that helps you see the line a little bit better, then that's fantastic. Now at the end here, I'm going to give you a simple drill, simple way to test this eye position relative to the ball. We'll talk about that here in a couple minutes. All right. The next position we want to talk about in terms of the eyes, where the eyes are, is how far out do we want them. So now we're talking about down the line. We just did face on. Now we're talking about down the line. So where should my eyes be positioned relative to the ball in terms of outside the ball, inside the ball, right on top of the ball? Now once again, what I'm hoping I'm getting across here is that I want to give you some basic guidelines, but I want you to play with this a little bit and find what works best for you. So here's where I want you to start. I believe that most putters start with their eyes basically kind of up over the line. All right, so if this is kind of the line, I'm assuming it's a straight putt. My eyes are basically straight down from that. I see a lot of great putters also have their eyes slightly inside the target line. Okay, that would be acceptable also. Very seldom would I see somebody with their eyes on the outside of the line. So if I got set in here, all right, I'm set in here, and my eyes straight down should basically be, to summarize these 2 points, on the back side of the ball as a starting point, and right on top of them. And that's kind of where I would start. So hopefully that makes sense to you. We're talking a little bit about where the eyes are relative. Now, granted, the ball position has a big impact and all those types of things as well, too. So what's a way that we can practice this? Next time you head to the golf course, how are you going to practice this to kind of really know where you're at? Well, here's what you can do. So I got my ball set up right here. What I'm going to do is get set in here, and then I'm going to take the golf ball. This is an old drill. It's been around for years, but it works really well. I'm going to get set up, look down my line. I'm going to take the ball and just put it right over my lead eye, and I'm going to go ahead and drop it down. Now you can see where that landed. I'm not sure if you can see from face on, but it landed just on the inside of the ball and slightly behind it. I like that position for me. I think that's a good spot. If you get in here, okay, same process, and you drop it and it falls outside, now you know your eyes are too far outside your target line and you maybe need to move them a little bit in. So next time you head to the golf course, that's a simple way for you to test it. If you want to make more putts, you got to visualize where the ball is going. The first step to doing that is positioning your eyes in the proper place before you even make the stroke.